Welcome back to the New Earth Rhythm podcast. My name is Lisa, and today's going to be one of my most important and powerful transmissions that I have ever shared. Something that I felt called to put together and share at this moment in time because we are in the middle of the most important energetic shift in human history. And I know you've been feeling it. If you're tuning into my podcast, then of course you're feeling it, you're consciously aware of it. We know that literally every single area of life is shifting, it is changing. Time itself feels different. Reality itself is shifting. You are not crazy. You are awakening, and you chose to be here now for a reason. So, in today's episode, we're doing a deep dive into why now? Why now? Why is it so important that you live in alignment with your unique soul signature, with your soul's essence now more than ever? It is truly the most crucial moment for humanity's evolution. And all of these ancient prophecies, astrology, human design, and even quantum science all point to this exact moment in time. So, why now? We're going to get into that. This truly is the moment to step into your power, align with your unique energetic blueprint, and prepare for the new paradigm that is emerging. So let's dive in, y'all. Let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We're going to dive into this presentation I felt called to put together. And let's get into all of the different things that are pointing to this why now shift. The awakening is now. It is without a doubt the craziest moment to be alive in human history. The most important moment of human history is right now. So this is the great shift specifically of the years 2024 to 2027 and beyond. We're going to dive into ancient prophecies, astrology, human design, the gene keys, quantum science, all pointing to this moment. You are here because you are feeling it. The old world is literally collapsing. A new reality is emerging and it is birthing through you. Are you ready to activate and to align? Because we have multiple systems, but with one truth. The shift is happening now. And yeah, what if I told you that everything happening right now, from the chaos, the collapse, on all societal levels and within your personal life, breakthroughs, all of this was prophesized. So we're going to get into this era from the lens of different mystical, astrological, and esoteric systems, all pointing to this pivotal turning point. And all of the systems are confirming this shift. So we're going to get into a few of them, the most important ones, the ones that I know about. I'm sure I'm missing a few, but we're going to cover all of the most prominent and blaringly obvious systems and prophecies during our time together today. And then I'm going to talk about how you can harness this moment, which is my calling. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you harness this moment in time when everything is collapsing and the new earth is taking hold. So we have Pluto in Aquarius, 2023 to 2044. This is revolution and power shift. Period 9, which coincides with that, 2024 to 2043. It is the fire age and the feminine awakening. This is the restoration of the divine feminine. The end of Kali Yuga and entering the golden age. This is dissolution of illusion. 2027 human design, genetic mutation of emotional sovereignty, and the bioenergetic shift. This is a physical mutation that we are undergoing as predicted by the gene keys and human design system. The threefold awakening sequence, 1987 to 2027. This is a 40-year activation, and we are currently in the final phase. And let's continue with the Mayan calendar, which everyone knows 2012. But what most people don't know is that it was actually a 13-year transition. It wasn't just predicted to end in 2012. That was the start of a 13-year transition period ending in 2027. So you're going to see these key years over and over again. We have the Hopi prophecy, the great purification in the fifth world, Christian and biblical prophecies, the age of revelation and new earth, Islamic eschatology, the end of Dajal's reign and the renewal of truth, Tibetan and Buddhist prophecies, the Shambhala awakening, indigenous and African prophecies, the return to cosmic harmony, and scientific and cosmic alignments are all pointing to this galactic shift. This is truly a convergence of prophecy and science. We're not just getting into mystical and ancient ancient prophecies, but this is also showing us, it's also appearing in modern quantum discoveries. All of it is pointing to this moment, specifically 2024 to 2027, as a pivotal turning point. So what all of these themes, with all of these systems, everything I just mentioned, what they all have in common is the collapse of the old paradigm. Outdated systems of control, fear, and limitation are breaking down. This is the rise of sovereignty consciousness. Humanity is remembering its true power and divine intelligence. This is the activation of quantum and solar energy. Cosmic forces are activating higher awareness and energetic upgrades. And this shift from linear to rhythmic living, moving away from artificial constructs into organic, flow based reality. That's so beautiful. The bifurcation of timelines, a separation between those who are awake and those who are resisting the shift. So I have a feeling that if you're already tuning into this episode, then you are tuned in with this shift. You're going to harness this shift, but things are going to get really a lot more difficult for those that are still asleep and resisting. They will manifest their deepest fears until they are shaken awake. And, everything is supporting them to do so. The cosmos, everything in our quantum reality is supporting them to awaken. So we need to, just hope and pray that they get on board. Otherwise, things are going to get a lot worse for them. Not to be cryptic there. It's just a reality that we are shifting. So let's get into Pluto and Aquarius. So this is the revolution. The revolution is beginning. Aquarius is the sacred rebel, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth and transformation. So the fact that in November 2024, Pluto moved into Aquarius, this was signaling, this set off like a chain reaction within each and every one of us that permeates throughout the collective and through our society. Our entire society is shifting. Our societal values are massively shifting. We're moving away from control and hierarchy, which was Pluto in Capricorn energy. From 2007 to 2024, Pluto in Capricorn was all about control, greed, manipulation, hierarchy. And now we're moving into innovation, sovereignty, collective consciousness awakening. You can expect breakthroughs on all levels of society, financial restructuring, energy-based systems replacing outdated systems. So the old world is crumbling through this lens of this Aquarian energy taking hold. This is the era of the creator. Those aligned will thrive in this new paradigm. And this is truly the end of old systems. Outdated systems are leaving the world slowly but surely. It's starting now. The systems in which, have been in place for hundreds and hundreds of years are changing right now. We're at the forefront of that. And we are changing the world from the inside out. We're changing the systems from the inside out by getting the right people in these high places of power as they begin to dismantle. And this also coincides with period 9 in Chinese metaphysics. The periods are marked by 180-year cycles, and it's cycles 1 through 9. So we are in the very last phase of this grand 180-year cycle by moving into period 9, which began in February 2024. This is ruled by fire, and it's represented by and favors women ages 35 to 55. This is the feminine awakening. This is when we're going to see a rise of feminine leadership all over the world, leading to heart-based consciousness, spiritual economics. This is all about illumination, passion, energetic expansion, rapid spiritual acceleration, and intuitive intelligence over linear logic. I love that. We're moving into intuitive intelligence, divine intelligence over linear logic. Linear logic is the masculine principle. That's the old way. That is letting your mind, your limited, logical thinking, rational mind trapped inside the matrix, run the show. And we're moving into body intelligence, cosmic intelligence, divine intelligence, the body's wisdom. This is the restoration of the divine feminine. This is the restoration of the feminine principle where the heart will lead over the mind. So we are restoring the divine feminine, which has been out of balance for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. This also is the end of Kali Yuga, which is the collapse of illusion. This was the age of corruption, fear, control, and material obsession. Now the veil is lifting. Hidden truths are being revealed, and the golden age is beginning, but only for those that align with the shift. So the old reality is literally dissolving, and there is a lot of speculation over the Kali Yuga, which yuga we're in. There's 4 yugas. Many believe that there was this divine intervention that changed our timeline to get us on board with the golden age timeline beginning at this point in time. There may have been divine intervention from higher beings to get us on this golden age timeline and out of the Kali Yuga, which is the lowest, darkest point. And I believe it because look around the world, look around what's happening. We truly are in the darkest point, and we can only go up from here. Okay, so the darkest point is the Kali Yuga. We're moving into the golden age. This is also predicted by the Human Design System. So the Human Design System predicts that by the year 2027, there's going to be a genetic mutation that sweeps through the solar plexus system, which is the home of our emotional wave, the emotional intelligence. This also coincides with the rise of the cross of the sleeping phoenix, also predicted by the Human Design System. So these are, each cross lasts for, I'm blanking, anywhere from like 100 to 200 years. So it predicts by the year, we're in the energy now. The energy now up until 2027, we are going to have the sleeping phoenix awaken just in time with this genetic mutation shifting through the solar plexus center. So this is an end of reliance on outer systems and structures like government, religion, all the systems and structures that are outdated. This is an end of tribal reliance, and it's the beginning of energetic sovereignty. Shift from mind-based survival to frequency-based living. The solar plexus mutation is moving from fear-based thinking to quantum intelligence. We're going to have a higher emotional awareness. We're going to still the emotional wave, which brings chaos. You're going to still the wave within your own life by, rather than your awareness getting lost within your emotions, your awareness is now going to ride on top of the waves, thus stilling the waves, using your emotions as your compass, as your tool for manifestation and guidance, but not letting your emotions use you, not being a victim to your emotional states. So your emotions, your awareness is going to ride on top of the waves, thus stilling the wave in your own life, stilling the wave in your family, in your community, thus permeating throughout the collective. And I believe that children that are born from now until 2027 and beyond, they will not have a defined solar plexus. They will not be ruled by this emotional wave. That is my personal prediction. I've seen it in my own daughter. She was born in 2023. She does not have a defined solar plexus. I'm going to start looking out for other people. If they ask me to do readings for their children, I'm going to take note of this. That's my own personal prediction. But I do not believe that there will be an emotional authority following the 2027 mutation. And this also coincides with the threefold awakening sequence, which was predicted by the Gene Key system. And you guys hear me talk about this a lot. It's the second episode of my podcast. Threefold awakening sequence is a 40-year activation timeline that began in 1987 with the harmonic convergence. This is when cosmic activation began. It's believed that in 1987, there was a supernova in a neighboring galaxy, which created unprecedented celestial events, celestial transits and alignments, which permanently altered humans' brain chemistry and allowed them to finally see the unifying truth of all the greatest teachings of the ages. It is known as the age of synthesis. It's a synthesis of Eastern and Western systems, science, medicine, synthesis of the left and right hemisphere of the brain, synthesis of yin yang, masculine, feminine principles. It's the age of synthesis. This is when it began with this cosmic activation, followed by 2012 melodic resonance. This is when multidimensional awareness awakens. And this is when it's believed that we split off into two different timelines. It's the old world, it is the dark forces on earth that just serve themselves. And it's the service to self timeline, the dissociative, perceived separation from source timeline, the dark timeline of destruction and chaos. There is a reality in which that timeline continues, but then that's where we had the split of the ascension timeline. So since 2012, we have literally been coexisting in two different realities. Okay. And that's going to continue to split off and never converge again. There's the ascension timeline, and then there is the destruction timeline for the dark forces coexisting at the same time, which is why things are so chaotic and painful for those of us which are, we're still existing within both of them at this point in time. And then we have the 2027 rhythmic symphony. This is when the new human blueprint fully activates. This is when our gifts come online after this 40-year activation timeline. This is the rhythmic symphony. So we're activating harmony, melody, and the rhythm of a completely new alteration, activation of all vibrational life on this planet on the ascension timeline. And then again, this is coinciding with the Mayan calendar prediction of 2012 to 2027, this 13-year transition. It's a 13-year bridge that we are in of this old paradigm dissolving as humanity prepares for a quantum leap in consciousness, moving from a mechanistic world to an organic rhythmic flow, activating light body DNA, multidimensional awareness, the end of linear time, and the return to cyclical, intuitive, nature-based living. This also is predicted by the Hopi prophecy. I hope I'm saying that right. It's the great purification in the fifth world. So these Native Americans, they speak of the four worlds that humanity has lived through, with now the fifth world emerging. So this is a division of timelines where different levels of consciousness manifest separate realities. Okay. So all of these prophecies are kind of speaking in different ways. They're telling the same story, right? Of this splitting of this timeline, of this, splitting of realities. Return of the rainbow warriors, those who bring unity, peace, and healing to the planet. So if you're watching this, you're a rainbow warrior, okay? If you are here to be leaning more towards being service to others rather than service to self, leaning towards uplifting Earth and her people, you are a rainbow warrior. You chose to come here now for a reason. And it is a shift from artificial structures to natural harmony and earth wisdom. This is also predicted by Christian and Bible prophecies, the age of revelation and the new earth. But let's talk about it because it's different than a classical Christian interpretation of the revelation. So it's not an apocalypse, but it is a coded prophecy about the fall of corrupt systems, the fall of Babylon, and the birth of a new divine order. And so the idea of a new heaven and a new earth comes from Revelation 21:1, and the return of Christ consciousness, rather than a literal second coming of Christ, like diehard Christians would believe, like Jesus is coming and it's the apocalypse. That's not the true organic prophecy. It is symbolizing a collective awakening of divine intelligence and unity consciousness. This is Christ consciousness. And it's a collapse of false authorities and unveiling of hidden truths, ascension into higher frequencies of love, wisdom, and sovereignty. A bifurcation of timelines where people either awaken to higher consciousness or remain in denser realities, like we've said. Okay. So this truly is the age of revelation. And this is also coinciding with the Islamic eschatology, the end of Dajjal's reign and the renewal of truth. So this time period is also known as the end of the false Messiah. The Mahdi and return of Isa or Jesus symbolize truth overpowering deception and return to divine justice. Some interpretations align this with the fall of the old world order and the rise of spiritually awakened humanity, a spiritual battle between illusion and truth, the rise of just awakened heart-centered civilization, and the unveiling of suppressed knowledge and divine wisdom. So this dark force on earth that has been manipulating and controlling our timelines, our knowledge, suppressing true divine knowledge, the old world, the old system, they are going to hold on for dear life right now. The light has already won. We have already, because the ascension path exists, it means that we have already ascended because there is no time outside of this time space continuum, our dimension here on earth right now, right? We have already ascended. The good guys, us, we have already won. But the light, those that are stuck, the darkness, those that are stuck in these lower dimensions permanently, they cannot continue on. So they are going to hold on for dear life. That's why things are going to get so much more chaotic, like the deception and the injustices. They're going to hold on for dear life during this time. That's why those that are not awake, things are going to feel a lot scarier because their true darkest fears will manifest through that one darkened timeline. Okay, so this is truly the time of awakening to the quote false Messiah and finding that truth within your inner heart, your inner knowing. And this is a return of divine justice. And we're going to see these, social movements all over the world. And that is my baby. Let me do a quick pause. We are back, and I'm going to get back into our presentation and where we left off. But I just wanted to say that I am sharing all of this right now to empower you and to kind of just reaffirm that, you know, your suspicions are correct. This really is the craziest time to be alive, the most powerful time to be alive. And I am truly empowering you to step into your sovereignty, into alignment, into your authenticity, knowing that you are so supported in miraculous and unexpected ways, and that it is your moment to unleash your gifts onto the world and live the life of your dreams. That is how you will spread more light and divinity into the earth. And it's just going to lead to so much joy, abundance, miracles, true love, and just peace. Okay, so we are all together. We're with you on this. You're never alone. You do have what it takes. And I am here to support you if you need help. This is why, everything has led me to being where I'm at now for a reason. It's so that I can be of service. And I just tried sharing my screen, but now I can't find my presentation. Please hold. Okay, we got it. Let's get it. So, this is right where I left off, right? So basically I'm just showing you how all of these different systems, structures, religion, all of these prophecies are pointing to this moment in time. Okay, and including the Tibetan and Buddhist prophecies of Shambhala awakening. And if you've ever heard of the festival Shambhala in Western Canada, I believe it was in BC or it might have been in Alberta. I went in 2022. It was the most magical, amazing time of my life. The energy at Shambhala Music Festival is unparalleled. Could not recommend it more. And I just love this idea of Shambhala. It is this hidden kingdom that will rise when the world is at its darkest. The Dalai Lama and the Buddhist scholars connect this to the present era where materialism collapses and spiritual wisdom returns. This is a transition into wisdom, compassion, and balancing. An awakening of inner spiritual technology and the cities, which is higher abilities, higher awareness. You hear me talk about the cities and Siddhic consciousness a lot through the lens of the gene keys. where we have these 64 archetypes within us, or 64 gene keys that express themselves in three different frequencies: the shadow, the gift, and then the siddhi. The siddhi is the highest expression of that archetype, of that energy. You can think of Christ consciousness. Christ, himself, who walked this earth, tapped into Siddhic consciousness. And that's what we're all striving for, is not only unleashing our gifts onto the world, but unleashing our siddhis, our higher supernatural abilities, literal magic. And that's what we are all capable of tapping into. And I also do believe that when someone reaches Siddhic consciousness, they do blast off and into like a supernova star. I believe that, as above, so below. My personal belief is that all of the stars are us. We are stars. And when there is a supernova, it is a human being reaching Christ, Siddhic consciousness, which then blasts off. Like I said, let's talk about, remember in 1987, I said there was a supernova in a neighboring galaxy that created unprecedented celestial events that permanently altered humans' brain chemistry. This is exactly what I mean as by we are all connected. What you do matters. When you tap into your gifts, that permeates like a shockwave throughout the collective energy. So when you make the jump from shadow into gift, you're sending a shockwave into the collective that allows hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of people to make that gift, to make that jump as well from their shadows into their gifts, because you created the bridge, you made it possible, you sent that shockwave. And then when someone makes the jump from gift to siddhi, they now make it possible for thousands and hundreds of thousands of people to make the jump as well. So I believe that that's what a supernova star is. It's someone reaching Siddhic consciousness, and that sends a blast through the collective. And Shambhala Awakening is this new age led by warriors of the heart, not through violence, but through wisdom, presence, and love. So you'll see this theme of rainbow warriors, light warriors, warriors of the heart. That is you. That is you. If you're tuning in, that is you. We also see indigenous and African prophecies, the return of cosmic harmony. So many indigenous cultures, from the Zulu to the Maoris, speak of a time when humanity will reconnect with cosmic origins and nature's intelligence. So the Zulu prophecy describes a time when humans remember their star ancestry and awaken latent spiritual abilities. And the Australian Aboriginal Dreamtime suggests that a great cycle is closing, and those who align with nature will enter a new reality of harmony and flow. Reconnection with star ancestors and cosmic heritage, awakening of dormant spiritual abilities, and this is Earth's ascension into higher frequency reality. So across every stretch of Earth herself, every ancient civilization, every civilization has their own stories that are all describing this moment in time. This is the craziest moment to be alive. And this is even going beyond spiritual traditions. Scientific and cosmic events confirm this massive transition. So this is scientific and cosmic alignments pointing to the galactic shift. First of all, we have sun's magnetic field reversal in 2025. Shifting solar energy patterns are going to impact consciousness and Earth's frequency. Even like the most scientific, those that are not into the mystical spiritual at all can all agree that there is a massive shift happening with our sun. And it is a universal law that our inner developments mirror our outer external findings and reality in our development. So as we are awakening our own inner sun, awakening our solar Christ DNA, our own relationship of Earth herself to our sun is changing. The sun's magnetic field is reversing. And we are going to also, our technological advances are going to be all around harnessing solar energy. Okay, now let's get back to this. So the Photon Belt hypothesis suggests that Earth is moving into a higher energy region of the galaxy, triggering DNA activation. The Schumann Resonance spikes. Earth's frequency is rising, affecting human biology and consciousness. There is someone that I really like on TikTok and on YouTube, Ash Lightstar. She goes by and she interprets the Schumann resonance. And it's always bang on. Like I'm very tuned in with collective energy and cosmic energy. And whenever I notice a shift or have a personal breakthrough in my own life, like if I'm dancing or meditating and I have like this powerful shock and awe awakening breakthrough that I integrate and then, have a new insight that I then channel into my work and delivering. When I check her page, her YouTube, she always says, like, within the last 12 hours, we had a huge spike in the Schumann resonance. And that people that have been studying these, the patterns of the Schumann resonance over time, even like people that are not in the mystical, background, but those purely scientific that are interpreting the Schumann resonance all say that it is speeding up. We're getting blasts that are off the chart that we've never seen before. We are getting these spikes that we've never seen before and that they are occurring so fast. This is what we mean by time is speeding up. These activations are getting more and more powerful, and it is coming from our earth and from our sun. And the scientific confirmation of energy shifts is affecting human consciousness. So it's not so dogmatic anymore. Like science is not so dogmatic anymore. They are awakening and accepting that there is a connection, like duh. But this is a new cycle of galactic influence activating higher potential, the merging of spiritual wisdom and quantum science. It's all a synthesis. It's all about synthesis, right? You should not just be going down one rabbit hole and like blocking yourself off from everything else. Everything is everything. Everything is interwoven. Spiritual wisdom and quantum science. It's important that it is a synthesis of all of them. I'm always drawn to things and systems that are syntheses, like the human design system and the gene keys are syntheses, like polarity, the therapeutic art of polarity is a synthesis of Eastern and Western medicine. That's a really profound energy healing modality that is a synthesis. It's all about synthesis. Okay. And this is the bifurcation of reality. This really is two timelines that are splitting. One path leads to fear, control, and collapse. The other leads to energetic mastery, abundance, and sovereignty. Which reality will you choose? We are at a fork in the road. I have a feeling that if you're watching this, you have already made your choice. Let's go. And this leads me to my next point of how to align with this new reality. It's like, okay, so it is the craziest moment in time. Now what? How are you going to embody this, right? It's time to truly activate your soul key energetic blueprint. This is shifting into quantum living and frequency based creation, becoming the architect of the new earth. The new earth is changing through you. How are you going to change your life? Harness these energies, stop compromising, stop living in this victim mindset, feeling like you can't control your reality. And it's time to wake up and awaken your supernatural gifts and align to your unique soul key. And that's what I'm here for, is to help guide you guys during this. This was within my own soul key, is to have built my foundation and learned all of this. And then this system was birthed through me. This is a system that has come to me for years. I've been building it and learning it, and it's been a part of my offerings. But the way that I have woven it together and presented it in this offering right now, my soul key activation offering, is something that was just birthed through me within these last few weeks, during my social media detox, during my power down, during the low end of my wave as a manifester, where it's all about introspection and just feeling and receptivity and waiting. And then boom, this came in like a lightning crack, is the soul key activation that I'm here to offer you. This is the old paradigm is ending. The new one is being built by those who are ready. If you are feeling lit up by this, if you're feeling so excited about this, but you don't want to go it alone, if you want a guide, if you want a support team, if you want a tribe, this is for you. Allow your body to give you the yes, okay? Because the soul key activation is how you unlock your energetic blueprint, align fully with this shift. It is not just a mindset shift, but it is truly an energetic upgrade, because it is all about embodiment, right? So your energy is your greatest technology. Your body is the greatest technology that has ever existed. Okay, so the soul key activation is all about using your body's technology. It's the key to stepping into this new reality. it's activating your unique energetic blueprint. And this is what I show you. Okay. So within the soul key activation, we're going to unlock your human design and your gene keys, activate your chakra system through polarity energy work, align with cyclical and rhythmic living, integrate Ayurveda and energetic nutrition for optimal energy flow. And it is truly, we're not just witnessing this shift. You are actively co-creating it. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy. By us being here right now, having this conversation, tuning in, living in devotion to our highest calling, we are the ones creating it. You are creating it. It actually all depends on you. The prophecy depends on your commitment to growth and to activation, to bringing in, ushering in the golden age through you. Okay, so this is a time of the great remembering. It is disillusion of fear, and we are embodying divine intelligence. The golden age is here. It is golden hour. I want to help you embody it. This is my brand, Embodied Radiance. Check out my website, embodiedradiance.com. The creator of the SoulKey activation. And depending on where you're at in your journey, there's different tiers of working with me and utilizing this SoulKey activation. I'm just going to briefly go over them, but you can read all about it on my website and reach out, send me a message, send me an email. If you want to set up a phone call and we can discuss this and see which option would be best for you, depending on what you need, where you're at, and what your goals are. Okay, so the first one is just a totally self-sufficient online self-paced course to activate your own energy. Then the second one is the online course, but with weekly check-ins with me for guidance and personalized activations for 6 weeks in a row. The third is if you yourself are a facilitator, an energy healer, holistic health practitioner, a coach, a guide, a therapist, a ceremonialist, an activator of any kind. If you have offerings that you want to weave this into, if you're a human design analyst or, a Western natal chart reader, whatever, you would really benefit from my training, my facilitator training program, which is for healers, practitioners, etc., which is this online course plus weekly activations with me and guidance and feedback about how you're going to incorporate this into your own business, into your own offerings. I will be there and guide you through it. And then the next tier 4, is the facilitator training plus live mentorship, where we'll have much more frequent check-ins and we'll have one-on-one Zoom calls. We'll have these, I'll actually guide you through this activation, the SoulKey activation for others, so that you can know that you're doing it correctly and most powerfully in your own offering. So this is way more hands-on training. And then we have tier 5, which is VIP one-on-one activation and personal energy work, where I'm really going to take you, by the hand. I'm going to activate all of this for you. Then I'm going to show you how to incorporate this into your offerings. And then I will be there with you while you are doing it in your offerings. I'll be there to give you support and feedback from your own recordings. Okay, so there's 5 different tiers of working with this, and read all about it on my website. Know that your soul came here for this. Okay, this moment in time has been written in the stars. It's woven into ancient texts. It's prophesied across time. You are not here by accident. You are not just tuning into this call right now by accident either. You found this for a reason. You found me for a reason. You're part of the shift. You're here to embody the new paradigm. And you hold a unique soul key. So it is time to fully activate it. That's what this is all about. You are so supported by all of the energy shifts of the cosmos and of Earth herself and of our sun to activate your soul key and unleash your gifts and cities onto the world. So let's go. I hope you feel so lit up, so empowered. The time is now. So let's get it. Let's go. Reach out to me if you want to set up a call to talk about SoulKey activation. And thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If it resonated, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Give it a like, give it a comment, and let's rise together. I want this to get out to as many people as possible. So if you can help me share it, that would be so awesome. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Until next time, stay in your power, trust the process, sending you so much love. And that is all. Peace out.